Namaskar, welcome to Express News, where we bring you 100 news stories in quick time. Let's begin. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman tables the Economic Survey 2019 in Parliament. GDP to grow at 7% in 2019-20 due to growth of investment consumption. Economic Survey calls for a sustained 8% growth rate for India to become a $5 trillion economy by 24-25. Economic Survey states Indian economy has performed well during the last 5 years. Economic Survey outlines strategic blueprint to achieve Prime Minister's vision of a $5 trillion economy. The survey recommends creating a virtuous cycle encompassing private investment, jobs, exports and demand. Indian economy is expected to grow at 6.8% in 18-19. The fiscal deficit has been pegged at 3.4% of GDP for 18-19. Service exports enhanced to 14.389 lakh crore rupees in 18-19 from 0.746 lakh crore rupees in 2000-2001. India's share in world service exports increased from 2% in 2005 to 3.5% in 2017. The theme of the survey is about enabling shifting of gears to sustained economic growth to achieve a $5 trillion economy by 2025. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has praised the Economic Survey. In a tweet, PM Modi said, "The hashtag Economic Survey 2019 outlines a vision to achieve a $5 trillion economy. It also depicts the gains from advancement in the social sector, adoption of technology and energy security." The Economic Survey, a reflection of the government's resolve to maintain fiscal stability and growth, remains the top focus, says Dr. Rajiv Kumar, Vice Chairman, Niti Aayog. Chief Economic Advisor Dr. K.V. Subramanian said that the Economic Survey 18-19 has been guided by the dictum of blue sky thinking and laid out the ambitious agenda of applying principles of behavioral economics to achieve 8% of sustained GDP growth to make India a $5 trillion economy by 24-25. Indian indices ended with marginal gains in a volatile trade on Thursday ahead of the union budget to be presented on July 5. At close, the Sensex was up 68.81 points at 39,908.06. The Nifty was up 21.2 points at 11,938. About 1,222 shares advanced, 1,195 shares declined, and 172 shares remained unchanged. The rupee traded higher by 10 paise at 68.81 per dollar versus the previous close of 68.91. India slams Pakistan's crackdown on Mumbai attack mastermind Hafiz Saeed, calls it cosmetic steps and half-hearted measure. On Kartarpur corridor, MEA spokesperson Ravish Kumar said that India had proposed a set of dates. Pakistan agreed they'll come for dialogue on July 14. There are certain differences which are being discussed. Lok Sabha passes the Aadhaar and Other Laws Amendment Bill 2019. Law and Justice Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad said that in the past 5 years, 7.48 lakh crore rupees has been sent through direct benefit transfer. The minister also said that 1.41 lakh crore rupees is saved through Aadhaar. Health Minister Harsh Vardhan holds a high-level meeting to effectively deal with dengue and chikungunya. Availability of sufficient medicines, beds in hospitals also discussed. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi appears before a Mumbai local court in connection with a defamation case filed by RSS worker against him for allegedly linking journalist Gauri Lankesh's killing with the organization. The world-famous Jagannath Rath Yatra began in Puri, Odisha with religious fervor. Heavy security has been deployed in the holy town. President, Vice President and Prime Minister extended greetings and good wishes to fellow citizens. The 146th Rath Yatra of Lord Jagannath also commenced this morning in Ahmedabad amid tight security as lakhs of devotees flocked to the route to catch a glimpse of the deity. The much-awaited monsoon arrives in parts of Himachal Pradesh and adjoining Uttarakhand. Shimla and surrounding areas witnessed heavy rainfall. A Delhi court awards 6-month jail term to Aam Aadmi Party MLA Somdutt for assaulting a man during the 2015 Assembly election campaign. The additional Chief Metropolitan Magistrate Samar Vishal also imposed a penalty of 2 lakh rupees on Dutt, who was convicted by the court last week. President Ramnath Kovind expresses grief over the death of Barun Haldar. In a tweet, he said, "Sad to hear of the passing of Barun Haldar, a well-known voice from the golden age of radio and a familiar name for followers of AIR news bulletins. My condolences to his family and to the millions who listened to him with rapt attention." Boeing has announced that it would give $100 million to communities and families affected by 2 crashes on its 737 MAX planes that claimed 346 lives. The mayor of Goodyear, Arizona, announces that she would stick with the sportswear maker Nike after the state's Republican Governor Doug Ducey said that he would withdraw a $1 million incentive for Nike to build a plant in the state. Vodafone UK switches to 5G service, becoming the second UK mobile operator to turn on its 5G network, relying on Huawei equipment. The Vodafone network has been launched in 7 British cities, including London, Glasgow, Manchester and Cardiff. The Ukrainian energy company Naftogaz is preparing for full termination of Russian gas transit to Europe through Ukraine after the executive officer Yuri has said so. Bookmaker William Hill has said that it plans to close about 700 betting shops, which could lead to 4,500 job losses. The firm said that the move followed the government's decision in April to reduce the maximum stake on fixed odds betting terminals to £2. Germany's Ursula von der Leyen, the nominee for the President of the European Commission, meets the current head of the EU executive, Jean-Claude Juncker, in Brussels. Leyen needs to be confirmed in the new job by an absolute majority of the 751 EU lawmakers. The European Council President Donald Tusk asks the European Parliament to approve Germany's Ursula as the next head of the European Commission. The US is celebrating its Independence Day today. Military tanks rolled in Washington's Memorial Mall. The celebrations will feature fireworks to illuminate the sky. The trade deficit of the United States expanded 8.4% from April's $51 billion to $55 billion in May, and the US economy growth slowed by a big margin, suggests the data released by the US Department of Commerce. Days after leaders of the US and North Korea held talks, North Korea has accused the US of being hell-bent on hostile acts, despite a recent agreement between the two countries to resume nuclear talks. Pyongyang's delegation to the United Nations has said that the US was obsessed with sanctions. Mexico's National Guard has taken up their posts along a southern border river with Guatemala as part of an agreement with the United States to arrest the surge in migrants. Mexico is trying to curb a surge of migrants from third countries crossing its territory in order to reach the United States under the threat of tariffs on its exports by US President Donald Trump. Chinese Premier Li Keqiang meets and holds talks with Bangladeshi Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina in Beijing. Li hosts a welcome ceremony for Hasina outside the Great Hall of the People before the pair sat down inside the building of the China-Bangladesh for bilateral talks. Construction of the middle section of the China-Russia East Route natural gas pipeline project begins in northeast China today. Construction of the section is scheduled to be completed by October 2020. Russia says the main cause of the deadly fire on board a submarine which killed 14 crew was a fire in the battery compartment. The fire broke out in the submarine on Monday which killed 14 naval officers. Hong Kong's Legislative Council will be closed until late September after anti-extradition protesters broke into the building on Monday. Pan-Democrat lawmaker Helena Wong has said that certain data files holding security information were reported missing after the assessment of the damages was done. The UK Foreign Secretary has continued to warn China that it could face serious consequences over its treatment of protesters in Hong Kong. Jeremy Hunt says he condemned all violence but warned the Chinese government not to respond by repression. South Korea's Trade Minister Yoo Myung-hee has said that the Japanese exports limits on the high-tech materials bound for sale would in fact pose a huge threat to the global economy and disrupt global supply chain. Australia's Conservative government looks firm to secure the support needed to pass a bill focused on cutting 158 billion Australian dollars worth of taxes over the next decade. About 10 million middle and low-income earners will receive a rebate worth 1,080 Australian dollars within a week if the bill is passed as expected. Australian student Alec Sigley, who went missing in North Korea, has been released, confirms the Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison. Sigley went missing on June 25 in North Korea's capital, Pyongyang. Alex Sigley's father, a professor of Asian Studies in the Western Australian city of Perth, says he is extremely pleased that his son, an Australian student who was detained in North Korea, has been released. Alex Sigley arrived in Beijing in transit to Japan, where he will reunite with his Japanese wife. Sudanese protest leaders and ruling generals resumed talks yesterday over forming a new governing body. Talks on a power-sharing agreement collapsed when security forces violently broke up a protest camp in Khartoum. This happened on June 3. A Sri Lankan court ordered the detention of the country's suspended police chief and its former defense secretary on Wednesday, a day after they were arrested for alleged negligence leading to the Easter Sunday bombings that killed more than 250 people in churches and hotels. Gibraltar says that it had detained a supertanker Grace 1 on suspicion of carrying crude oil to Syria. It may be the first such interception under EU sanctions. In Honduras, a fishing vessel sinks during bad weather in the Caribbean off the coast's northern coast, and at least 27 fishermen are feared dead. 9 people remain missing and 55 others have been rescued. A 5.6 magnitude earthquake jolts the Zhongjiang county of Yibin City in southwest China's Sichuan province. The quake occurred in the morning local time at a depth of 8 kilometers. 6 people died and over 190 were injured after a strong tornado hit northeast China's city of Liaoning province, and it touched down at Jinghaosi Township, rampaged through an industrial park and churned the south. It lasted about 15 minutes. Heavy rains in southern Japan let up by, but authorities maintained that evacuation orders for more than 1 million people are on, warning against a risk of more landslides, which have killed 1 person, which another person is also missing. A volcano on the Italian island of Stromboli erupts, releasing hot trapped magma in a powerful explosion, killing 1 person and enveloping the popular tourist destination in ash. The person believed to be a tourist was killed by falling stones during a walk, while another person was injured. The Rath Yatra, the chariot festival of Sri Jagannath Dev, is also being celebrated in many parts of Bangladesh today. The festival has been inaugurated by the lighting of the Mongol Pradeep. A colourful procession was brought out from the Swami Bagh area with images of Lord Jagannath, his brother Balram and sister Subhadra. Egypt has called on auction house Christie's to cancel the sale of a 3,000-year-old bust of the ancient boy king, Tutankhamun. The country's foreign ministry claims that the bust was probably stolen during the 1970s from a temple. Experts say excessive sweating and rapid breathing are two signs of heat-related illness. If you work in the sun, wear loose-fitting, light-colored clothes in addition to drinking plenty of water. A recent study has suggested that some respiratory symptoms may predict an early death in older adults. Adding to such predictions differ with smoking status. Early morning workouts best for weight loss, says a study. Timing of exercise also important for successful weight loss. A study says regular exercise is not just good for your health, but it can also make you smarter. Neuroscientists working with mice have discovered that a short burst of exercise directly boosts the function of a gene that increases connections between neurons in the hippocampus, the region of the brain which is associated with learning and memory. A study led by an Indian origin scientist says that millions of people are suffering alcohol's harm because of someone else's drinking. Secondhand drinking is as bad as secondhand smoking. US researchers say that electronic cigarettes produce a stress response in the brain's stem cells. Electronic cigarettes are nicotine delivery devices that aerosolize nicotine and flavor chemicals through heating. People with vitamin D deficiency from birth to early childhood are at an increased risk of elevated systolic blood pressure during adolescence, according to a study. People living with HIV are at an increased risk of developing cardiovascular diseases, particularly heart failure and stroke, warn researchers. High salt diet can cause bloating, says a study. The researchers also showed that a high fiber diet, such as the DASH diet, increased bloating among participants compared to the low fiber control diet. Young adults who were bullied as children are at significantly greater risk of depression due to a mix of genetic and environmental factors, the study has found. According to a study published by the Journal of the American Heart Association, binge-watching TV is worse than sitting at a desk job all day. So indulge in other hobbies like walking, jogging, rather than retiring in front of the TV set. According to a study, people with poor quality of sleep as they age from their 50s to their 60s have more protein tangles in their brains, putting them at higher risk of developing Alzheimer's disease later in life. Researchers say yoga can help people with Parkinson's disease decrease their symptoms of anxiety as well as depression. iOS 13's third developer beta includes a new feature that makes it look like you're staring directly at your front-facing camera during FaceTime calls, even when looking away at the person on your screen. Instagram has rolled out a new chat sticker in Stories. The new stickers let its users start a new group conversation from their story. Microsoft is rolling out an update on its Your Phone app on Windows 10 that will allow it to mirror notifications from your Android phone onto your PC. The QR code scanning will minimize the number of steps that are currently required to add a new contact to the phones. The new feature will let users add contacts to their smartphones by scanning other users' WhatsApp QR codes. Facebook is working to limit the reach of posts making sensational health claims in an effort to tamp down on misinformation. The site is also cracking down on posts trying to sell products or services based on unsound health claims. Google Photos is planning to bring one of the most notable features, that is a manual face tagging feature, which will allow you to tag faces manually. Google mobile apps will also get the search parameter for recently uploaded photos, which was previously only available on the web. This will allow you easily to see and edit any photo you just uploaded, even if it's from many years ago. Sports Minister Kiren Rijiju lauded the Indian team on reaching the semi-finals of the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup 2019. In a letter addressed to the head coach Ravi Shastri, Captain Virat Kohli and Team India, Rijiju said that Team India is the nation's pride and everyone across the country is celebrating the men in blue's success. Chelsea have appointed Frank Lampard as head coach for a 3-year contract, the Premier League club announced Thursday. Lampard, a former Chelsea player who won 3 Premier League titles and the Champions League in a 13-year spell at Stamford Bridge, managed Derby County last season and led them to the Championship playoff final. Pakistan will need an improbable win over Bangladesh to have a shot at making the semi-finals of the World Cup when the two sides clash in London on Friday. Not only do they need to win, they need to win by a huge margin. Bangladesh versus Pakistan. Well, Pakistan currently placed 5th with 9 points from 8 matches. Pakistan faced the challenge of beating Bangladesh by 311 runs after posting 350, or by 316 runs after scoring 400 something, which is practically impossible, as we said. In the ICC Cricket World Cup, West Indies skipper Jason Holder won the toss and elected to bat against Afghanistan in their last league match at Leeds. In Wimbledon tennis, Leander Paes, who's 46 years old, and the pair of Purav Raja and Jeevan Nedunkachesian, they have crashed out in the first round of the men's doubles. Women's top seed Ashley Barty needed less than an hour to dispatch Belgian Alison van Uytvanck 6-1, 6-3 and move into the third round of Wimbledon today. Atletico Madrid have completed the signing of teenage striker João Felix from Benfica, the La Liga side said on Wednesday. Star Indian sprinter Hima Das won the women's 200-meter gold, where the national record holder shot putter Tajinder Pal Singh Toor bagged a bronze in the Poznan Athletics Grand Prix in Poland. Peru ended Chile's hopes of winning a third consecutive Copa America title as they reached the first final since 1975 with a comfortable semi-final victory. Amitabh Bachchan sends the best wishes for Rishi Kapoor's new film, Jhoota Kahin Ka, I beg your pardon, and says that my best wishes to the film Jhoota Kahin Ka, starring Rishi Kapoor, Jimmy Shergill, Sunny Singh, Omkar Kapoor and others. Actress Priyanka Chopra is now catching attention for her new look in the latest edition of a fashion magazine. She appeared to be in the Kennedy styled black and magenta pink fur attire. This is in July edition of Elle UK. Priyanka Chopra showers love on the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, and says she was always meant for big things. Priyanka Chopra graced the cover of Elle magazine's August edition, where she showered praise on Meghan Markle. Reports say that Shah Rukh Khan is all set to make a special appearance in a Tamil superstar Vijay's Bigil. A survey also reveals that Shah Rukh Khan is the most remembered brand during the ongoing ICC World Cup, an ad that's done by him. According to a telephone survey conducted, Shah Rukh Khan's ad has been rated as the most spontaneously recalled celebrity ad. Kangana Ranaut and Rajkumar Rao are coming together to grace the silver screen after 5 years. Their latest film, Judgmental Hai, Kya trailer has received immense response from the industry. Singer Joe Jonas and wife Sophie Turner shared their first picture on Instagram after their wedding. The couple is seen to be waving at guests in wedding attire. Contention between music manager Scooter Braun and singer Taylor Swift accelerated as Braun, in fact, acquired Swift's music catalogue, after which Swift accused Braun of bullying her. Lawyers of singer Robert Kelly urged the court to charge, fine and jail his ex-wife Andrea Kelly for breaking the confidentiality clause in their divorce. Prince George, the son of Kate Middleton, met his favourite star figure, Roger Federer. Middleton revealed that the little prince is fond of tennis, and he even got an opportunity to play tennis with the pro. Amid Cricket World Cup rocking all over the world, superstar couple Rishi and Neetu Kapoor cheered India with a picture that they posted on Instagram with the legend of cricket himself, Kapil Dev. In New York, Nathan's famous 4th International Hot Dog Eating Championship will be held today. An 11-time winner, Joey Chestnut, is the #1 ranked competitive eater in the world. To maintain genetic diversity under international breeding program in the UK-based Big Cat Sanctuary, snow baby leopards were being given birth. It is a vulnerable breed. The leopards are now 4 months old and were seen to be strolling in the sunshine. 3 little Pacific white-sided dolphin calves made their debut dive at an aquarium in South China's Guangdong province. The arrival of these dolphins is a sign that they have passed the high-risk stage of being born in May. Australian singer Kylie Minogue has joined hands with the British indie rock band The Vaccines for their upcoming song Shaun the Sheep movie. Vaccine expressed its excitement to be working on the song. And actress Katie Price said that during the trailer of her upcoming movie My Crazy Life that she hates her own body. And that's all we have for you in this edition of the news. Thanks for watching. You can catch all the news and updates on Twitter and YouTube.